Okay, so here's the thing. The last video was not something I wanted to. It was not really meant for a confession. The confession is, I just remembered what it was actually. Well, okay, yeah, I admitted to some things, but like the confession I wanted to tell you was something I didn't know about was the idea that, if it's not in HD, but you know what that is, it's high definition. Well, ain't nothing I can do about it right now. All I can do is wait till I get a computer to either to record it or download it and convert it into it. Either way, I'd have to convert it. However, if I were to record it, try and convert it into HD, I can't do that with all videos. What I'd have to do is just kind of download the videos I'm not going to record over so I can convert it. And that way it gives it more than enough, I guess, footage for whatever reason. Not that it really matters, but but as far as just making it HD, again, high definition, that's how I would have to do it. Because when I was uploading it, you notice it says something about SD, which is, I guess, small definition. But basically, as long as it ain't, if you can't watch it in HD, don't worry about it. At least you can still watch it. That's the thing. The only problem is, again, if you want to watch it in HD and if that's all you got, well, then I guess you're screwed. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Not until I get my computer back from the shop. Right now, it's sitting in kind of purgatory or hiatus. Because, so I can get whatever I need to get with it so it can get done. I don't know that I will do that or not do it. That's all in the future. What I do know is that when I do get it back, there are certain things I will be definitely venturing into. Number one, making more than enough videos and try to upload them one day at a time. I'm not gonna put like 10 or 20,000 videos now, even though I could, because I can do that on the computer. Depends on how much space it has and all that kind of junk. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, so let's go ahead and go over here to no, not to there. No, not to there. I figured it out. I forgot the buttons. My brain doesn't function with everything. All I know is that, all I can say is like this, I know I get there eventually. So let's go to Sonerian Imperator. By the way, I spelled that wrong, so I'm gonna have to, whatever. So let's go ahead and put this on fast speed. I forgot he had a balloon on. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Didn't even mean for him to have a balloon. So this episode, we'll just get to level 40. So, I'm going to do this. That would actually be better if we had a full party of monsters. Well, I don't know about this one, but close enough. United Attack is very interesting. Gets a little bit more advanced as the series goes on, because that's where they make it more as something else. Because what's a little bit more useful is what I was trying to say earlier. Because in this game, it's not that it's not useful at all. It's like most of the time you're playing this game, you can't really make use of it because they force characters into there, and they don't even have a Unite attack. And even when Suikoden 3 came along, I think it was, or whatever, it still didn't have Unite attacks with everybody, which I can't think sucked. So, but it is what it is. I still have no idea what red slimes would drop, if anything, because I know blue slimes will drop the, I think it's called the water ruin piece, or whatever it's called, something like that. And by the way, if they get 3 balloons, they get lifted off. I think that even happens in Suikoden 2, but I don't think they did it in 3, because I think they stopped the whole balloon thing for whatever reason. In fact, I don't even think they had needles in 2, but I could be wrong. It's been so long since I've actually played it. But from what I remember, there wasn't any needles to counteract the balloons, so that your characters don't get lifted off, you know, out of battle. So we're sitting at, goodness sakes, it's going to take a full video just to do this. I don't know. I'm giving up on this opal because we don't need it. I would definitely recruit her, but I'm not so sure that I really want to. First of all, I don't like the way she said that. Secondly, you know, there's something else she says that it just doesn't really jive with me, you know. It doesn't fit well when it comes to having Suikoden characters. But, you know, I'll tell you more about it later. So, everybody is up except for Kirkus and Stallion, which absolutely sucks. I think. But again, I'm not really worried about Stallion, even though the Stallion's going to level up with us. So that's never really been an issue. Kind of glad he does, don't get me wrong. But then again, to be fair, I'm not going to take the time to try to level up everybody. I mean, I could do that, make a little bit more of an advantage when it comes to different war tactics. But, you know, they do and can be a little bit more better with what they call them. Like, they're called like war battles instead of just like, you know, you just go in there and you fight. So, whatever. Yeah, I'm giving up on the opals. The thing about this as well is this, that if you keep fighting them and stuff, even if you could recruit it, they'll still give you the opal. You know, the same thing with the nameless urn. You know, once it drops, and it never stops dropping, like period, even though there's no need for it. But, you know, and even though you can't even sell them, which I don't even, I guess if you just want to stock them in your vault for whatever reason, even though it serves no purpose, it doesn't really like make you stronger because you stocked it in your vault. No, I just stock my vault with items that I'm going to be using. I can't help what I'm not going to be using that's going to be in there. Even though they are items that actually don't count, but yet, you know. I mean, I don't think I've ever tried to do that one thing, but I'll tell you about that one later. So, because of what's going on elsewhere, and I can't get it to because whatever and whatever. So, because that would be a major spoiler, and I can't do that. Well, there we go. I was saying I can't, that I shouldn't. Yeah, old habits die hard, as I say. But anyway, yeah, I shouldn't really spoil it, but I can if I want to. Anybody can if they want to. It's not the end of the world because you spoil it. It's this, you shouldn't. It's like going to a theater and someone's spoiling it for you. Like, did you know that the princess dies at the end? No, I didn't know that. Of that she gets slapstick comedy into her face. Like, here's some slapstick comedy. If you don't know what that is, I don't know what to tell you. And not like they actually sit and slap her, no. But, you know, like, not physically, anyway. Oh, that's right. Let's go ahead and make full use of the two elves here. I think there's another United attack if I brought in Sylvania, but I can't bring them in because, well, there's Gremio. And we would have to have a third slot open, so that's just not going to happen right now. So, yeah. I'm not sure if Ruby has a United attack with anyone, but, you know, it's I guess it's something to explore. But anyway. You know, I don't like to split videos. I really don't. But, you know, I like stop them, make them so short. And I figure, you know, I mean, because I don't know what good length of video there's supposed to be. Like I'm an expert on it or anything, like a real one. Because so many different people are going to be interested in so many different lengths of videos. And also, even though a lot of these same people will be like, well, as long as you're not one of them that's doing what other people are doing, that has 4 to 8 hours or whatever, but they'll watch the other guys that actually do that. Very annoying when they do that. Instead of watching me, even if my videos are not that long, or if they turn out to be the same way. So, or, you know, that's how they are. They're judgmental. And they don't care. They really just don't. Yep, Stallion got leveled up. By the way, if you want to make it go faster at the end, you just keep pushing, keep tapping X. There you go, so you don't have to sit there and through it all. You know, when it gets to the end of the battle, when it goes through all that kind of stuff. You know. I really have to say that each and every Suikoden game has their own unique, interesting ways of doing battle. And I can say that without spoiling it. Because even though it's kind of a spoiler in itself, but it's just not a spoiler where you actually know what they're going to be unless you've seen the game. Which I hope if you're watching this, you haven't. Because I didn't want you to come across and be like, oh, well, you have already seen it. Or whatever. And the reason for that is a lot of people who do that have a tendency to spoil things. Or it's, I mean, completely to the point that it's like, what's the point? You know, you pretty much ruined it. So, anyway, let's move on. Yeah, I've been going on for like so many minutes. It's going to take me almost probably about 50 minutes just to even get up to level 40 and then stop. The only reason why I'm even going to 40 is for, like, Kirkus anyway at this point. I could also do it for Killard, but, you know, even though he'll wind up going to level 40 anyway. But, you know, I'm not really concerned about Gremio leveling up either at this point, but, you know, certainly really wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't even be concerned about Flick either. But, you know, depending on what you're doing, it would actually matter if you're trying to get recruits or whatever. So, I think. Something like that, but anyway. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on levels as far as getting recruits are going, but I know enough to say that it's possibly, from what I've seen and understood when I played it, but, you know, I always say, you know, as well, play it however you want to. You can even sit there, try playing it while you're moonshining it. with your pants down, going ha 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 while I'm playing like a controller. If you wanted to, but you know that's just your thing, not me, bro. I couldn't do that. It takes a lot of skill to do that. Like just like much of it is just to eat through a mask. Like somehow getting noodles to go through that takes a lot of skill. And I don't know anybody in reality that can really do that. You know, unless they like have air holes in the mask somehow. Easily concealable that nobody can even see it, and you know, whatever. But yeah, that's what I figured. Almost an hour, or 50 minutes, I mean, here to an actually exact hour. Or we can actually level up. Anyway, I'm not awake. Oh. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm gonna. Leg is specializing in this. People want to sleep here. By the way, if you want to get Flick not to gain anything, let him die in battle. Closing the character, because they can't. Unlike some games, you can't actually do that. In some of the Final Fantasy games, you couldn't even kill off your characters in battle. They can level up pretty much quicker. I forgot all about that. I'm sorry, I was asleep. Man, I can't fall asleep. I'm sorry about that. Woke up early and everything. I knew I had some things to take care of, and I did it. Not that there isn't more to do, I just did what I had to. Up on the dang blasted. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that that we will be getting into the idea of the bath sort of thing. But I'm going to start up from the beginning when I first get him and everything. That way we can start doing the things and adding ornaments as we go along, because right now we're a little bit late on that. Of course you did. That's not what I wanted to do, but thanks for the thing. Damn it. So here's the thing as well, by the open ring, you can actually get it before you talk to her. Once this opens up, and what happens is that what you have to do is you have to talk to her again, like as if you came back. But that way you can skip through doing all that just to do it. That's if you already know about it. Most things you can't do that with. There's a character that's so annoying to recruit, so you know. It's just what you have to do to get him anyway. Well, there's another one, but, you know, otherwise, it's not as bad compared to that. I'll show you what I mean later on, but, you know, like I said, I think this time we're just going to skip it. Speaking of skipping it, I'll be right back. Wow, back up to max skill. So. Yeah, I'm back. Anyway. So. Yeah, that took me longer than I thought I was going to have to do, because I had to do some things. And man, I didn't want to have to do all that, but I had to. Well, you know. Yeah, for reasons I won't get into, but just say it's very embarrassing. You know. I forgot to push this or hold the circle down as I with the D-pad, whatever the hell you want to call it. I always like call it the directional pad or something, or, you know. You know what's crazy is that the analog stick, they said, wasn't included until like PlayStation 2, which is completely unfounded to be untrue, because believe it or not, even though that most games didn't use the analog stick, it was actually introduced to PlayStation. Yeah. Long before PS1, PS2, that kind of thing. Centralized around Final Fantasy VIII, and I know Final Fantasy VII can have it too, but it just wasn't as big of a deal as it was for Final Fantasy VIII and so forth. And then you also had your racing games that actually did it too, because for whatever reason, because they wanted to, but they said it wasn't even a thing. That's BS. I said no, because there was PlayStation controllers that had, that on there. It wasn't even PS2 or nothing. And, that's why they had, like, vibrations and stuff like that with, Metal Gear Solid, and, how else do you explain the joystick? You can't explain it without it. So, because without the analog mode, you wouldn't even have the joystick. So, kind of really hard to do. Anyway, I don't know why you keep hitting the main leading character, dadgummit. But it is what it is. So the good thing is, as well, is that we are actually still getting more closer by the moment here. Everybody's at level 37. It wouldn't have mattered if I had cheated or not. I would have still eventually gotten that much. In order to, also, you can get past that, by the way, if you use a cheat code. Yeah, there is actually a ability to get past the 9s. It would take a 1. That's it. You just have to use a cheat code and then turn it off. Yep. And then that's it. Pretty much. Yeah, even though it matters not, because it's like plenty of gold. The reason why I choose to do it most of the time is because a lot of times it's just easier to use a cheat code than it is to just absolutely grind for it or try to get it through gambling. Sometimes the luck is you can win, sometimes you can't, but whatever. As far as I'm aware of, they stopped doing that. It's kind of a built-in cheat, but the last game to do anything like that sort of thing was Suikoden 3, and it didn't even have, all we had was Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 2. What makes it crazy is the mini games you have to do in order to recruit certain characters, and because unless you can absolutely be lucky enough, you can't, you won't be able to actually recruit them. Which I think is pretty stupid, really. I didn't even know that until I was trying to look up how to get them and everything, right? Because I can pretty much do a game completely blind. Still kind of know about what you have to do, but as far as like the specifics, like, okay, for example, how to get all 100 Stars of Destiny. It's not just knowing that you have to get them, it's what you have to do to get them is the biggest mystery of all. And that's the thing about it. So they have their own ways to get stuff. Some of them is basically they automatically get recruited, whatever, And then some of them don't. You actually have to do so many different things, and that's what made them so daggum annoying. And it wasn't that they could have done without the game. It's the idea of that whether it was the luck of the draw of whether or not you win or lose. And if you can't win it, you can't get all 100 Stars of Destiny. That's just stupid. It should, at least they made one game where it didn't actually matter if you won or lose. You still could have, recruited them, and that's pretty cool. I'd say there was one game I also would say that's just as bad as another one. I hated it. And then like the, well, I had to get into it later, but it's kind of like the bath, but it's like, you know, you don't use it for the bath for whatever dumb reason, I guess. You stop hitting Victor. Victor's not the problem. It's Flick. No, let's just keep up on the thing anyway. So look at that. We are actually almost about out of time. But I'll go all the way down until I can't. I don't feel like doing it no more. Yeah, just to make up for a little bit of time, and then we'll stop, I guess. You know, as well, I can actually make more use of doing an outward or two if I wanted to on computer, but I don't want to. That's the thing. You know, not because I think it's more interesting to watch someone do it for about 2 or 3 hours straight, because it's really not. No offense, but I mean, you know. Sorry, but I don't find it entertaining for like that long. It's like watching a movie. You know, people think, oh, I can watch it. Well, good for you. I don't find it entertaining. Watch a movie, just the same old repeated movie for 3 or 4 hours straight. Can't even watch it for 8 hours. No, thank you. Oh, come on, I didn't want to get this item. Anyway, so yeah, I just figured, you know, what the hell, we'll just do this before we go rescue Dr. Layukin. And yeah, we still have plenty of time, so I'm not worried about it. The thing I'm more worried about right now, since we're actually, whether or not we're doing the 100 Start to Destiny or not, is about getting up to level 40 and getting at least Pawn up, because Pawn needs to level up. Either be level 40 or close, because really there's a reason for it, and I can't tell you why. I'm already spoiling it as it is, but I don't really want to spoil it for the real reason why, until we get to a certain point. So, like, in other words, I'd rather the game tell you it than me have to tell you. Even if I did know or I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Although, actually, I guess I would have to know in advance in order to make it possible for me to have to even go, oh, okay, so I need to be a certain level, blah, blah, you know, whatever. But anyway, I also need to max out his weapon as well. So, it's also very sad, tragic. That's what's going to happen. So, let's see. Everybody's pretty much up. It's also because of the what's in effect is the dragon incense. Still incense is actually pretty doing its job. Don't tell me we're getting hit though. But yeah, if you were gonna get like where it kill them off, I guess you'd have to just like keep on defending until they knock him out completely, or any one of your characters. It's the only way to knock them out. Or unless I decide to wipe out the whole entire party, which would not be a good idea. No. And then you'd have to at least keep one character alive, I guess. But I'm keeping up all of them because, you know, except for one character. I have done that before. I didn't know you could until I said, oh, okay. Alright, well, I think that's all the time we have for this episode, because I kept dozing off. I mean, that was just not a good thing. So, as usual, gotta save here. And I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna see you guys in another episode. Till then, yeah, because I got to upload this, and jeez. I hope it goes well, even though that, I'm sorry I fell asleep there, but hey, don't worry about that. We'll get things accomplished with the crap. I hate that when it doesn't let me open this up. Anyway, later.